Salutations, boys and girls and kiddos of all ages. Welcome to another video of posing action figures with Toy the Poser. For I am your host, Toy the Poser. Now, I would like to thank any new viewers of the channel, and I'd also like to warn you that this is not your average toy review channel, just a showcasing of all the things I like to collect in the form of action figures and toys. But to my returning kiddos and subscribers of the channel, I would like to say once again, thank you all. But to give you this warning that this little video might be a little different than usual. And of course, since you already know that, or since I said that, my returning viewers should know what comes next. Behind the camera, I go into giant mode. Whoop, whoop. Now, I don't know what Skibbity Toilet is. And to be honest with you, I got a funny feeling I don't really want to know. Cause I believe it's something that's going to annoy a person of my age group. Kind of like kids going around saying 6, 7. I have no idea what it means, what it comes from, or what it's referencing, but I know it's annoying. And here's the thing, but I have seen the references of whatever that's supposed to be in the form of toys around. And the reason I got this, even though it says it's a 1/64 die cast collectible, it looks like a regular size 1/12 scale toilet. So that's the only thing that I really care about. And I was, here, magical poof, decided here, magical poof. So yeah, this is basically, once again, I just wanted the toilet, the commode, the wherever you from, or the John, the potty, whatever you're from or whatever you consider this as. That's the only thing I really wanted. And I thought it was plastic, but they were right. It's die cast. And it looks 1/12 scale, and that's this size scale that I collect. And when it comes to finding 1/12 scale props and everything like that, yeah, you kind of gotta either just lucky, or you make them yourself, or you get them when you can. So even though you might be thinking to yourself, what in the world would I need with a toilet bowl, especially with a man's head sticking out of it? Well, if you're a customizer, you know why. You appreciate things like that. But like I said, if you do things like take for action figure photography and stuff like that, toy photography, things like this come in handy. And I didn't know how I was going to get this head out. I didn't know if it articulated or not. It doesn't look like it moved. I have no idea why there's a guy's head sticking out of the toilet. Once again, I got a funny feeling. I don't want to know. But it did have a screw at the bottom, so I'm going to try to take it off that way. And no, I'm not going to bother you with doing it on camera. I'm just going to magical poof it this way, if I can, if it comes out. So, we're just going to, and look like that was a total waste of time, because after magically removing the screw from the bottom, that did nothing for the head. So I'm just going to rip it out. And there you have it. That was it. So I didn't need to take out the little screw at the bottom, which well, it's die cast, so maybe, I don't know, maybe that's how they had to build the thing to put it in. So there you have it. I guess now I can bring in an average 1/12 scale figure to, I guess, test it out. Okay, so let's do that. Whoop. All right, representing the average 1/12 scale action figures, we have Stan the Man, my main man Stan, the Marvel Legends Stan Lee action figures, standing at average 1/12 scale, which is 6 inches at average. And yeah, now as I can see, the toilet is way too small. So let's bring in another, let's go smaller. All right, so whoop, whoop. All right, the average 1/18 scale action figure, which looks a little bit closer to comfort, is the Viacom Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Michelangelo. And although he almost looked, you know, it almost looked spot on for a minute, but he is still, he doesn't do a really good job of sitting for the most part. So, I mean, that's about as good as it gets. But I just basically wanted to, it's one of those situations where I guess if you kind of, depending on where how you camera it, angle it or whatever, it could work, it could not work. But let's see if I can go a wee bit smaller. So let me see. Whoop, whoop. All right, representing a 132 or 36. Is it 32 or 36? I'm screwing up my numbers. It still has, I mean, Toy Biz, Herbie from Fantastic Four, but Herbie's a robot, and in this form, he can't really sit on anything. But the average, the reason I brought him in, the average, even if he was an action figure, that would probably be the height of a 32, 36, whatever action figure. So even though this toilet is quote unquote scaled at 162, and scale, was it 162? It scale? Let's give it 164. 164th scale. It basically would be too big for a 132 inch scale action figure. So let's go back up a size. Whoop, whoop. All right, representing the smaller end of a 1/18 scale action figure, we have the waist-high ninja guy, Gary for short, okay? And although he's on his stand, I'm finna take him off. And by the way, I finally figured out how to actually get all his weapons on him, or fit. I mean, I don't know if that's the proper way you're supposed to do it, if you've seen my video or not, when I reviewed him or unboxed him. He was tough that little thing was tough to do. But anyway, waist-high ninja guys are 1/18 scale, but they're standing like a 3 3/4. So basically on the smaller end of action figures. So I think this is more, plus he's super posable. So I think this is more, fit the scale, if you ask me. What do you guys think? Okay. So, anywho, okay. Hey, like I said before, when it comes to looking for 1/12 scale props, yeah, it's always hit or miss. You do the best you can, and unless you just know, because even if it says 1/12 scale, sometimes it just doesn't, it still won't fit, so, but, okay. So, yeah, so, cause, see, even, well, for, waist-high ninja guys, it looks a little too big for them, but waist-high ninja guys are kind of small. So, all right, enough all of this. Whoop, whoop. All right, now this video isn't gonna be about Gargantos Shumagorath, which is what I'm gonna always call him, cause that's what his name is and was. And I don't know the whole reason why it got changed to Gargantos, but apparently, you know, of course, it's supposed to be the Gamerverse version of him. Now, the reason why this is not gonna, you know, be about this, just for you people, good people that like packages and stuff like that, and why I still don't have no idea why, but hopefully this helps you for whatever good reason. Okay, barcode, all of that, and the top of the box, back of the box. So, all right, magical poof it up out of there, but magical poof. Okay, because this is where I'm gonna kind of stop at it because here's the reason why I'm trying to do this without making so much noise with the plastic. It's just that these tentacles that he comes with 3 of them. All right, I'll put one to the side. Of course, his body or head or eye or whatever you want to call it, the eye articulates or whatever. So, and this little, I've seen it used in the game. I've never seen him do this in a comic or what is it for. But yeah, and he, like I say, he comes with 3 more tentacles, arms, feet, whatever. But the thing is that, all right, these little tentacles, they have bendy wires in them, which I don't think I've seen other reviewers review it and things like that. But the problem is that when they actually put them in, they can't get them back out. So, and because the bendy wires are so, they're good, but they don't do a really good job. Like, they don't really bend. Like, let's say they don't really make a tight curl. You see what I mean? So I couldn't even like curl him all the way. You see? But they even so sorry. I mean, sorry for this little tease if it's teasing anybody, and I didn't put him in no pose. But the reason I'm doing this is because I got a funny feeling I can modify this, customize them, and make them better. So although he was a pretty expensive action figure, I'm gonna try it. Okay, eventually. So in other words, he's going back in them. This is gonna be the first time you're gonna, once I put all this stuff in. And like I said, I can keep this out, I guess, but this is because even with this little figure here or things like that, why they didn't put a stand or give a stand to put on it, I don't know. But in the video game, this is like his little attack or something. So, anywho, I'm going to put him to the side. Put Shumagorath back in the pack. Okay, and once again, sorry for the tease, guys, but yeah, reverse magical poof. So yeah, so back in the box it goes. Okay, so once again, sorry guys. So, but magical poof. This video will be about the Gamerverse Snap, what we call the Savage Land 3-pack, and warning now, it's, although I don't actually kind of like doing, but you're gonna have a little bit of rant in this one, because as I show you guys the box, everything, the main reason for the rant is that I understand why we got a Savage Land Rogue. It was one of those characters that's been, you know, begged for, asked for by the community for so long. So that was going to come regardless, sooner or later. Now, when you get to Sauron, this is where the full rant starts, because one, we had already gotten a Sauron in a Build-A-Figure and stuff like this. So for the ones that didn't get a chance to get it, cool. That I'm happy that you got it, but why put them in a pack together, in a 3-pack? Why didn't those should have been on separate cards, especially when the main character that we never got a character of, it's, well, an updated version of it. I think Toy Biz did one years ago, was SHANNA the She-Devil, because we needed her, and I'll show you why later. All right, but for those who like packaging, here you go. Hopefully the glare isn't bothering you guys too much. And of course, and this is, of course, the GamerVerse series, or whatever, wave, whatever they're calling it, for Marvel Legends. But I think this ain't got nothing to do with the video game, because the game, from my understanding, the GamerVerse was supposed to have been all about the Marvel versus Capcom situation game. But this is a whole nother video game. But I could be wrong. Okay. And normally I am. So it's some kind of other little game called Snap. Trust me, I have no idea. But that's magical poof. Okay, and once again, I only magical poofed halfway, because I'm only gonna take out SHANNA the She-Devil. But just for, I guess, those who want to see what the rest of these guys look like. And trust me, in the future, near future, you're gonna actually see my old action figures, and the reason why I don't like getting characters, other versions of characters that I already have. But there you go. And however, if I'm lucky, these two guys won't be around. Maybe I can trade them or sell them off, you know, for something else. So they're basically bait. I mean, or they're gonna end up being fodder for some other reason. So yeah, so let's get SHANNA up out of here with a magical poof. Now, here's something that I do wish Marvel Legends would do more of, because while I was magical poof and all of that, the insert of the box is a backdrop. And although, like I say, they do kind of do things like this sometimes, but they're never in a really good scale, you know. So I guess, especially for photography, if you ask me, if you do get lucky and able to use one and get photography from, you really have to, I guess, use your camera or whatever. And she's technically kind of out of camera because I was trying to take the glare off. But yeah, so there was SHANNA. I'm gonna see how much can I keep the backdrop up for this video. But there's SHANNA, because I don't think I'm a, and I hope these are all her accessories, but I'm assuming they are. I don't know why Sauron would need her. She comes with a rifle, a spear, a dagger or a knife or whatever, and alternate hands that of course, you've seen a million times from action figures. So because she has a rifle and a spear, we're just gonna switch out the fisted hands that she comes with. That I should probably turn back on the lights for this, but yeah. So oh, I should warn you guys: heat up your action figures before you start posing. Okay. For obvious, well, I don't know if it's obvious reasons yet, but I got a funny feeling my day is gonna come where I'm just gonna make a mess. So while I'm cold posing, because I like to try to use the okay. She has the dagger goes here in her little waist side hanger, or it's not really a sheath or whatever you want to call it. I think, yeah, I'm about to say that it's supposed to go there. All right, it goes there. No, you naughty boys and girls. she's not, she's covered. Front and back and front and back. Okay. Boots, but I hope I get an action figure that I can swap these out, because she's supposed to be barefoot. She's not supposed to have on boots. I don't see many comics where she wears boots, but all right. The rifle, I thought it was going to have a sling on it, but it doesn't. Because I remember seeing these guns before, and it has a sling, a leash on it, but how then Sam here, where she hold it in? Because these aren't even, I'm sorry, I was out of frame, but these aren't even gun holding hands. They're just grips. So how is she holding the gun? Okay, we're gonna wrestle with it for a little. Oh, okay. From my cold dead hands. Okay. All right. Pry it from my cold. Ooh, she's tough. Heat up your action figures. Okay. We got that going for it. And the spear. I got a funny feeling this is going to be a really simple cold pose situation here. I've seen this rifle before. I could have sworn I had, and it had a leash on it. So I was really thinking that shit was going to be a leash. But, okay. Yeah, I kind of figured this was going to be a simple situation. Let me see. Pretty sure I can do better than that, because she has a, nope, she doesn't have a waist swivel. She has a diaphragm swivel. Flowing hair. Oh, good gravy. Oh my god. Yeah, that's, yeesh. And it's cold in here, so she's not gonna bend well at all. Articulate well at all. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna push it too hard, but so, woo, that is some, and her hair is rough, so it's gonna, let's get old, ouch. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. Put on a rotating rotator real quick. All right, and there you have it. SHANNA the She-Devil. Yeah, this was a closed section and all of that. So let's give you a brief history of who she is because, yeah, I wasn't even planning on doing the monitor thing, but because of everything. But anyway, okay, well, it's not a whole lot of lore and backstory. I don't think that we really need to talk about when it comes to SHANNA. It's one of the reasons why I did this video in this manner. But all right. First appearing in SHANNA the She-Devil in 1972, created by Carol Sula, Steve Gerber, and George Tuska. SHANNA O'Hara was born in Africa. Yes, she's African. To a diamond miner who worked in Africa, mining diamonds and diamond mines. Well, when SHANNA was a little girl, around the age of 6 or so, her father went hunting for a rogue leopard in Africa. But little did they know, or maybe he did know, who knows, the leopard was a pet of SHANNA's mother, Patricia. So when her father went to go kill the leopard, he accidentally shot her and killed her mother, Patricia. And because of that reason, SHANNA started a long life, crusade and band, or not a band, but yeah, she all of a sudden didn't like guns and people using it. Hence the reason why it's weird that they one of her accessories is a rifle. Later, SHANNA moved to America, went to college, studied being a veterinarian, and also became an Olympic athlete in track and field and swimming. Well, when she graduated, SHANNA got a job at the New York Zoo, and while she was there, she fell in love with this leopard named Julani, and she kept it as a pet. Well, one day the Julani got shot by an evil zookeeper or something like that, and SHANNA was asked to take her cubs, Ina, who you see here, and Bari, who apparently is a panther. And if anybody didn't know, yes, that is how you make panthers. Panthers are basically either leopards or jaguars, or I think any cat who has darker melanin in their fur. So basically any big cat that turns black is panther. But normally they're leopards or jaguars. Well, SHANNA was asked to take the 2 cubs to a resort or rescue haven and back to Africa. And while she was there, she wore the pelt of the cub's mother, her first pet, Junie, in honor of it. And that's when she donned the name SHANNA the She-Devil. Don't know why. But while she was in Africa, the 2 cubs came to their demise from a sorcerer that killed them for a blood ritual. Well, basically, he turned the cubs into some kind of monster, and SHANNA the She-Devil had to dispose of the pups while they was in that form. One day, SHANNA was kidnapped by a mad sorcerer named Malgato, who also kidnapped a man named Kevin Plunder. And yes, his goes by the name alias Khazar. And of course, Shanna and Kevin eventually fell in love, got married, and had a couple of kids later on. They escaped the whole getting kidnapped thing together. But I wanted to hurry up and lead it to that point, because whoop whoop, Shanna and Khazar, and basically should have been. This is basically where my rant begins, because we got a Khazar figure, although mine is a Kit Bass custom right now. But yeah, once again, it's because I wanted him to have bare feet and I guess longer hair. But yeah, Marvel Legends did make a Khazar action figure. Oh yeah, by the way, they also made a whoop Zabu builder figure. Basically, Khazar's pet or sidekick, saber-toothed tiger. So yes, basically this is my whole point of the rant, and this is why I'm basically gonna end the video and all of that, because as I was saying, we should not have we should have got this from the get-go, but because whatever reason we didn't, I had to buy 2 extra figures that I did not want, and on top of that, I had to. They were exclusives, so luckily, somehow, some way, I was able to get mine through Walmart. Don't ask me how, but it happened. Because they not even supposed. They weren't store exclusives. They was con. You had to go. I think San Diego Comic Con. The SHANNA. I'm talking about the 3-pack. The SHANNA, the Siron and Savage Rogue 3-pack. They were con exclusive. These were a builder figure. So Khazar came in a Zabu way builder figure. Now, I don't think I did a. I got to double check. I can't even remember. Did I do a video about Kevin Plunder here? But I know I did one of Khazar. I mean, Zabu. But anyway, that's that. Whoop. Oh yeah, I guess I should note that although she is human, SHANNA the She-Devil technically does have superpowers. The Savage Land, which is where her and her husband Kevin Plunder lives, as she's technically immortal, so, and she has a connection to the Savage Land. So as long as the Savage Land is still around, SHANNA the She-Devil will always be alive to some degree. I don't know how that works, but well, there you have it. She has the strength of 10 men. She can run like 52 miles per hour. And she also can communicate with animals and plants. I don't know if that just relates to the Savage Land or no matter where she is or anything like that. And for some odd reason, once again, this is one of those attributes that I didn't know she had, and I've never seen her use it before. She can technically has an energy blast. I mean, even though this attribute meter doesn't show that, but she can shoot somewhat like fireballs from herself. And at one point in time, she had a portion of the Phoenix, power. So she had a small portion of the Phoenix Force, and to the point where I think she was or will be or was destined to be the next host of the Phoenix Force. But anyway, whoop, whoop. And when scale size, this is what SHANNA or SHANNA. I don't know if I've been saying it wrong or right this entire time, but let's keep going. SHANNA the She-Devil would look like scaled along other action figures of that size. We have representing the 136, the average 136 scale action figure size, coming in at a whopping 2.5 inches. It is the Toy Biz Herbie from the Fantastic Four pack back in May, or whatever, I can't remember the date. But anyway, representing the average 1/18th scale action figure size, we have the Viacom Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Michelangelo, and representing the average 1/12th scale action figure size, we have Stan the Man, my main man, Stan, from the Hasbro Marvel Legends line, standing at about 6 inches tall. And of course, we on the end, we have representing the 1/10th scale action figure size at 7 inches tall. We have the McFarlane Toys Dark Knight Returns Batman. And so, which means that SHANNA or SHANNA or whoever I've been saying stands at about right at the, technically the hairline is 6 inches, but right a little bit before this, above that is like 6 1/4 or something like that, if we count all that swooping hair, stuff like that. So there you are. Whoop, whoop. Well, my fellow kiddos, even though it was a hassle retrieving this long-awaited character of mine, of SHANNA the She-Devil, to complete the Kazar and Zabu family, Savage Land family, we finally have SHANNA or SHANNA the She-Devil. Thanks for stopping by, SHANNA or SHANNA. We'll be seeing you around. Whoop. Ah, man. Would you look at that view? But if you don't have a nice cardboard backdrop view to look at, take the advice my mother would give me when I didn't have nothing else to do. Go somewhere and play. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.